Welcome to our third Forthright Friday. Today's question is, what do you need to say to be able to speak your truth? Kelly writes, we, humanity as a collective and individually, created the world as we see it, and we have the power to create differently when we have courage and we take responsibility. No one should be excused or dismissed or abandoned. Susan writes, it depends on which truth I am trying to share and with whom. Some things will permanently be left unsaid with certain people. Other things I will share at the right time and place and with the right people. Like most people, I have been burned by sharing too much with the wrong people. So I'm quite circumspect now with deeply personal issues. Today, I'm having a good day. I meditated, I did yoga, relaxation, deep breathing, and yet I'm angry. And that's how I know that it's systemic. It's about something that's happening in the system that enrages me. And today, it's the response to the pandemic, nationally and statewide. Yesterday, I received a special announcement message from the Unitarian Universalist Association President, Susan Frederick Gray. We will be sharing this message with the congregation in an email that we'll send out later. But for now, I just want to quote a portion of it because it fits in with Forthright Friday. Over the past several weeks, the UUA has consulted with multiple public health officials in order to update the guidance we provided on March 12th, recommending congregations stop gathering in person. Based on advice from experts, we continue to recommend that congregations not gather in person. We also recommend that congregations begin planning for virtual operations for the next year through May 2021. Take a moment to breathe, she writes. I know this is significant. While there is much public conversation about reopening, the reality is public health officials consistently predict a long trajectory for this pandemic. A majority of our congregational members, leaders, and staff members are in high-risk categories. Our care for the well-being and safety of our members and staff must be a priority in this pandemic. End of that portion of the quote. Now, to let you know, our board is going to appoint a special task force on reopening that will consider reopening, what kind of phases, what kind of policies, and perhaps how to begin planning for virtual operations like the UUA recommends. Rest assured, we will want to know your thoughts and feelings. You know, life's not going to return to pre-COVID-19 times. And we need to consider those that are most vulnerable, those at highest risk, which includes a number of our members and friends and staff. We also need to consider who in Savannah is at most risk. And what we are learning is that many brown and black people, those with the lowest incomes, those who have the most close proximity to others in their work or in their lives, personal lives, are at highest risk. All of these considerations need to go into our planning and our deliberations. And so we will consider all these things. And I want to reassure you of that. But there's one simple matter that's really getting to me today around COVID-19. So I want to say it, speak my truth. I've personally had it, hearing about everyone, scientific community, all the public health officials recommending that we wear a mask when we go out. And yet, the few times that I go out, I admit that I don't go out very often, just for walks, I see very few people wearing a mask. Masks are one of the things that are, for the most part, not an economic issue concerned with this COVID-19 response. You don't have to have a beautifully sewn mask like I know many of you are doing. You don't have to have one like my friends have made me. They're just gorgeous. They're just the most beautiful things that you can have for wearing a mask. You only have to have a piece of material, an old t-shirt or bandana or a scarf and a couple of rubber bands. And I have seen how you do this. You take the bandana, you fold it in towards the middle, at the top and at the bottom, and then you fold it again. So it looks like this. And then you put rubber bands on each end. Like this. I'm sure you've seen these kind of things. And then you put it on your ears. It's so easy. Well, sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's not. You just put that on there. It's going to take me a little bit more time if I wanted to have it on my ears properly. But it's simple. It's simple. Yet, the President of the United States, the most powerful person in this country, perhaps in the whole world, flouts the recommendations that most of his advisors give. And he flaunts it by showing his ego and refusing to wear a mask. Really poor modeling, poor example of how to behave. You know, I think about masks in this way. I think this is really important. I wear a mask when I go out. And in that way, I'm having compassion and protecting you in case I have coronavirus and I don't know it. If someone I pass on the street wears a mask, then I know, whether they know it or not, that they may be protecting others and protecting me. And they're showing that compassion, that community spirit. It's one way that we show how interdependent we are, how caring, committed, and just we are as a people. It's a very simple thing. But who knows how many lives and how much suffering is saved by doing this one simple thing that the most powerful person refuses to do. So I've said it now. That's what I'm thinking today. And I'm hoping that you will allow your feelings to sometimes bubble up. Feelings are not bad. It's what we do with them. So blessed, blessed, blessed Forthright Friday to you.